One fine example of a marine sanctuary partnership are aquariums that have research and educational components. Dr. Andrew Rossiter, director at the Waikiki Aquarium, was kind enough to talk story with us about a global condition that, if left unchecked, will impact all of us.
To the folks that have been going to the Waikiki Aquarium for generations and are maybe taking their children or grandchildren now, you really don't need an explanation or a description of the ocean and her myriad creatures to justify why you visit this world-class place. Many of us cannot describe why we are so fascinated. You kind of just know these exhibits touch you in places that resonate and defy description. The ocean is represented in the aquarium's many exhibits like incredible thought-provoking creations. The truth is, there are countless wild places and creatures in our oceans that no great work of art or master can duplicate. Unfortunately, our human behaviors and practices are threatening to do damage on a scale that will have negative consequences for generations if we do not address them.
Ocean acidification is an increase in the hydrogen content of the ocean. And basically it means the ocean is becoming more acidic. The pH is going down, paradoxically, making it more acidic. The consequences of this are manifold for practically all the organisms that live in the ocean.
For generations, many of us believed the oceans were inexhaustible and resilient bodies of water that we could indefinitely pull resources from without consequences. Most of us now know this is not true. Unfortunately, there are many who do not believe in this science that is telling us some of our practices do need to change.
Ocean acidification is a decrease in the pH of the ocean. Any liquid has a pH value, and the pH value runs from 0 to 14. 7 means neutral. Anything lower than 7 is acidic, and anything higher is alkaline. So increased ocean acidification means that the level of pH in the ocean is actually going down.
Skepticism is partially defined as an attitude marked by a tendency to doubt what others accept to be true. In some circumstances, this is not necessarily a bad thing. A minority of folks did not believe Iraq had weapons of mass destruction. However, in a case like climate change, where the vast majority of scientists insist that climate change is real and real evidence is piling up, there has to come a time when we have to push for positive actions to reverse this trend.
It's bad because all the organisms that live in the ocean rely upon calcium in one way or another to survive. And this may be a physiological reaction. It may have to do with the basic physiology. It may have to do with the structures that they build in order to survive. For example, corals, shellfish, plankton, etc. So increasing acidity will affect every organism in the ocean in one way or another. Ocean acidification is directly attributable to anthropogenic carbon dioxide, and that means carbon dioxide that's produced by man.
What can we do to reverse climate change and ocean acidification? The answer to this is actually quite simple, but not easy to execute. Our reliance on fossil fuels is essentially the problem and solution to this challenge. No question, the energy that helped to make us the most powerful country on the planet was in large part generated by fossil fuel.
Well, 30 to 40% of the carbon dioxide produced by humans is absorbed in the oceans, rivers and lakes. And when it's absorbed, it directly affects the acidity. It increases the acidity. So one easy way is to reduce carbon emissions. There are other more complicated ways of resolving this, and these include chemical treatment of the oceans, add in iron to increase algae production, which would in turn reduce the acidity levels. but the basic one would be reduce carbon dioxide emissions.